All right. Am I here? Testing, testing. Microphone. Hey, hi, hi. I think I'm here. This looks like it's working. Wonderful. Okay. Shall we do this? Three, two, one. Hello. Oh, excuse me. Let's try again. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a while, huh? All right, beautiful. So let's start by the beginning. Hi, welcome everyone. Well, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Jose Luis and I run this thing called Parametric Camp. We used to do, back when I was doing this very regularly, we used to do computational design live streams, meaning I would go online, like I'm doing right now, and then I would start streaming, and then I'm going to be showing you how to do things with computer code and with art and creativity and all those things, and then we do this live, and then we turn it into tutorials that I post on our website and on our YouTube channel, and that people can use as learning resources, as support material for their teaching, as learning material so that you can start doing cool things, what I believe are cool things, etc., etc. And we used to do this regularly, like once a week, but that last year I have not been great on doing this. I'm sorry, I got really, really busy last year with a lot of stuff, and I had to put this whole thing in the back burner for a little bit so that I could catch up with life. Sometimes life just gets busy, you know. But hopefully, I am getting back on track with this. Hopefully, we are all getting back on track. I see 15 people connected right now. That's kind of great. Welcome everyone. Welcome HC Sue. Um, is this Sue from Florida University? Is that you? Well, welcome to the channel. Nicolas, very good to see you. How's everything doing? How's Italy treating you, huh? And then Arasto, very well. How are you doing? Very good to see you. And congratulations. I just found out that Arasto got a paper accepted at, wait, let me do this. He got a paper accepted at um, at Cadria. Where is this? Here. Where are you, Arasto? Here, right? There you go. He just got a paper accepted at Acadia. He got two papers accepted at Acadia, actually, but one of them is for RemoSharp, which is an open source project that he's been working on for a long time, which is about empowering collaboration in real time between Grasshopper users. It's a really cool project. I'm very happy for you, Arasto. I'm very happy that this finally happened. Although I can see that this is not open source. I thought it was open source. Something happened here. Is this correct? Am I getting this error because you put it on hold for a while or not? What's going on with this? But anyway, if you want to learn more about Remote Sharp, then read the paper that will be published in March after the conference. But at the same time, we made a video some time ago, both of us, Arasto and I. You see, this was real time actually. He was in Japan and I was here in Boston, and we were collaborating in the live stream and we were doing things with one another. It was a lot of fun. Arasto. So if you want to learn more about Remo Sharp, check out the video. It's very awesome. And I'm assuming probably Remo Sharp has evolved a lot since we made this video, correct? Because that was like almost a year ago now at this point. So Remo Sharp is probably nicer, better, bigger, shinier right now. Yeah. But Arasto, it's open source, but I cannot find it. Let me check. Maybe you changed the name. Arasto. Oh, you got a fork of the Machina bridge, huh? But I don't see it here. So let me say Remo Sharp. There's a bunch of different Remo Sharps. So for some reason, I am not able to access it. And if I click on the link that shows up on Google, it gives me a 404 error. So you may want to check that You may want to check that at Aston. Anyway, what's up? Albert, hey, hola. Good to see you. How you doing? And then Wasif Bat, I don't know if we've met before, but welcome to the channel. Fiertel, I also don't know if that we've met before, but welcome. How is it going in Vienna? Is it snowing there? Because it's snowing here in Boston right now. So I'm assuming Austria has to be also full of snow. I was in the Südtirol last Christmas in the Dolomiti area. Oh my God, that was beautiful and fun. And skiing and the food, it was crazy, crazy. Oh my God, it was so good. No, hey, hello, how are you doing? Good, very good to see you. I think I saw you yesterday on your live stream, right? For those of you who may not know, no, Martinez, Alonso, up. Yeah, there you go. So, no. For those of you who may not know him, he's a long time friend, but he's also a fellow YouTuber. He's been working a lot for many years at this point on his YouTube channel where he combines many things. So he has this podcast called Getting Simple, and he's been working on doing interviews to people who somehow have creativity in common as a loose thread, but his questions are mostly around how do you simplify your life? How do you put effort in making things simple? How do you are mindful about how do you work? How do you live? How do you spend your time? It's a really interesting podcast. I was interviewed like a couple times just because at the end of the day, when we hang out, we end up making an interview and catching up with life, which is kind of nice. It's like a nice mindfulness moment, if you will. But he also, for those of you who are more on the creative side, he also combines that with a lot of tutorials on creative machine learning. So I think he's right now working on some videos on PyTorch too, but his videos are really good. They're really well produced. Actually, I'm really jealous always because he has like all these nice transitions and blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to get better at that for the reasons that I'm going to show right now. But anyway, long story short, if you want to learn more about creativity and especially on the machine learning side of things, I am posting the link to his YouTube channel on the chat. You should definitely check it out. It's really nice. And then we got, what else? Jay, how are you doing? Very good to see you as well. It's been a long time. Uh, all right. And oh, Arasto, it's it's showing up now. Yep, now it's here. I don't know what you changed, but you did something and now it's showing up. Yeah. Oh my God. No me lo puedo creer, David. David, ¿tú qué haces aquí en el este? Me alegro mucho de verte. Bienvenido. And then Swadji from Algeria. I'm not sure that we've met before either, but welcome to the channel. All of you who we have not met before. Well, so let me more disclosures. So those of you who don't know more or less, so what we do is we do live streams every week, more or less, as much as I can do. But if you want to follow us or know more about what we do, we're fairly active on social media, especially Instagram. I post mostly on Instagram these days. But it's also, if you want to know when we go live or when we publish more videos, please subscribe to the channel and then maybe hit the notification button so that you get messages on your phone, etc. etc. On top of that, because we can't be online all the time, we do have a Discord server where we have conversations offline and when we talk about the channel, the live streams, but we also have a fairly active community of people who share grasshopper questions, coding questions, and I'm very happy to tell that there's also many people in the community that very actively respond to those questions. Arasto is one of them. Victor, who might be here, he's also one of them. And it becomes like this small forum for Q&A and answering and helping each other, which is kind of great. A lot of Machina questions as well. Typically, this repository for real-time robotics that I created a while ago. It's kind of nice. So if you have questions or you want to hang out or you want to learn more about what we do, please go to the Discord server. There's a link in the comments of this video right now. And there's always a comment on any video that we publish. There's always a link. Bueno, pues David, pues muchas gracias. Me alegro de verte por aquí. Siempre es un buen día para verte a ti también. And Luciano, thank you. I'm not sure that we've met before either, but welcome to the channel. Anyway, I was saying about Nono. Where is Nono? I was that his videos are really well reproduced, in part because he's actually really good at finding nice gear to doing streaming. So one of the things that I'm doing this year is I'm upping my gear. So for a while last year. So what's gonna happen this year with parametric? Okay, so let's start with that. So this year, what are we going? I'm trying to get back to this. So this semester, what's gonna happen? So this semester, last semester in the fall, I was teaching 2 classes and I had a lot of mentoring to do, and it was very complicated. So I couldn't really catch up. For those of you who might be new to the channel, I am in the real world when I'm not doing this. I teach courses on computational design at the design school at Harvard. Oh my God, I really need to upgrade this photo. Look at this. Look at this. You see my beard? It was so black. And now it's not. So I teach technology courses and computation courses at the Graduate School of Design at Harvard. So last semester I was teaching 2 classes. I was teaching Introduction to Computational Design, which is kind of a foundational class for introduction to all the things that I like teaching in this YouTube channel as well. And I was also teaching the advanced research seminar that I teach that focuses on human-computer interaction. It's called Enactive Design, Creative Applications Through Concurrent Human-Machine Interaction. And I'm very happy to tell that I was very happy with the work that my students did this semester. It was really good. But this semester, I'm a little more, I have a little more time because I'm only teaching 1 class. It's called Procedural Fields, Functional Design of Discrete Hyperdimensional Spaces. My friend Katarina was like, "God, could you not make the title any more complicated?" Which I probably couldn't. So this is what we got. This class used to be called Artifacts as Media. It used to be focused on media, on signals, and that kind of stuff. And this year, the focus is fairly similar still, but I want to narrow it down a little more. I'm gonna put a link to the video here on the server, a link to the class, sorry. But this year, I want to focus it a little, because last year, we were looking at many forms of media, and I feel that this class ended up a little more as a general survey of media forms, but we didn't really get deep into techniques for creation and manipulation of those media forms. And what I would like to make the class about is about this idea of how can we use those media forms as a vessel of communication and information. So that was the ethos last year. This year I want to focus a bit more and make it, perhaps instead of so wide, I want to make it a little deeper. So I've chosen to reshape the class a little more towards discrete media forms, and in particular those, in the digital realm, all data must be discretized in some form. You have to, at the end of the day, take a continuous signal that is in the real world, like an image or like sound, etc., and discretize it and partition it in zeros and ones, because it's the nature of our computational media. But for this year, I wanted to focus a bit more on those forms of media that are discretized in units. In my mind, I'm thinking about images, basically. And I wanted to focus on how to use functional representations for the creation and the manipulation of spaces in these discrete media forms. So I don't know if you are familiar with functional modeling, or implicit modeling in this case. But those are basically forms of creating images and creating video and creating 3D shapes and creating forms in general where you're not defining surfaces or you're not defining form with control points or with concrete units of information, but you're defining it functionally. You're defining it with sine waves, cosine waves, combinations of form, combinations of functions in a way where the form is implicit in the definition of those functions. And in order to make it explicit, you basically have to discretize and sample the functional space and then find the values in that space that correspond to your functional representation. This is a very complicated way of saying that you can create form by defining functions and by defining shape numerically, but then you can create very interesting things with this technique because all of a sudden, for example, you can define form that doesn't have a clear boundary between inside and outside. You can define form that is fuzzy, that has gradients of solidity, for example, and that's very useful for multi-material 3D printing, for modern forms of multi-material 3D printing. It's also great for making complex shapes and complex operations with Boolean information because Booleans are always perfect and exact when working with implicit form, whereas in certain modeling environments it can be buggy and error prone, etc., etc. Anyway, and on the and the main technique for doing this, shader modeling, and the main technique, for example, for doing this is that there are many techniques, but for example, shaders are a really good technique to do this. Ray marching for 3D geometry is really good for doing this. All the work by Inigo Quiles in his website, he has like a lot of really cool material here, and his YouTube channel is also amazing about how he creates all these crazy forms and all these crazy landscapes just using functions, not a single mesh, not a single nerve surface, nothing. It's kind of amazing. So I want to focus this year on that, and I want to focus on applications of functional representations of form and geometry in 2D, in 3D, using images, using voxel spaces, using image processing, using video processing. So I want to touch upon all those topics, and hopefully the goal will be to for students to create some kind of design environment where implicit modeling is at the core of the technique. I'm not sure. I guess I'm talking a lot about this just because I also want to use this as a way to think about this. I'm literally working on preparing the class these days, and I start on Monday. But these things are always a little bit in flux, and it's kind of an experimental class as well. So I give myself a little bit of leeway and room to like change things and shape things according to how I see the class going and how I see the topic getting more and more concrete. But this is mostly what I'm doing this semester, which I'm kind of happy about. I'm very excited because some of the topics I am very familiar with, but some of the topics I do need to do a little bit of research before I'm able to convey them to other people, and that excites me because it's also a way for me to learn more stuff. So that's part of what's going on this year, this semester. So the good news is that I only have to teach this class. It's going to take me quite some time to prepare it because there's many things that are new, and I want to make a really good repository of sample files and code that my students can take a look at and they can build upon, etc., etc. But I'm going to have a bit more of available time than because it's also a smaller class. It's probably going to be around 20 students. So I'm going to have a bit more time. So perhaps, I'm not promising, but perhaps I have more time to dedicate to getting back to doing this every week as we typically used to do. Mali, computational designers like complexity. Computational designers like navigating and controlling complexity. That's what we try to do here. All right. Now, also the good news is that this year I'm upgrading my gear. So thanks to the wonderful advice of Nono Martinez Alonso, I've upgraded my gear. Also, I was a very good boy this year. So Santa brought me all this stuff for the live stream. Well, sorry, in my case, it's the three wise men. That's kind of the tradition in Spain. But yeah, so I got all this stuff here that you're seeing, which I'm going to use to slowly but steadily up my gear for the streaming. So, for example, I don't know if you remember, I've had microphone and audio problems in the past, and I wanted to work on those. So Nono, a while ago for my birthday, he bought me this really nice microphone that started being buggy and not working well. So I've upgraded my gear also, thanks to the recommendation of Nono. And now I'm using this new microphone that you see here. It's a Rode Wireless Go microphone. This is another one, very similar to the one that I have right now, that is connected to a receiver that I have right here. Can you see it? It's the receiver right here. And so I can have two microphones, but they're also super nice. They're very small, they're digital, they recharge via USB. I mean, it's the first time that I'm using them right now, and I'm in love with them already. They were not cheap, but again, I think I was a pretty good boy this year. So the three wise men were nice enough to bring me a microphone set. It was great. You need also a device that does tick tock tick tock. What device? What are you talking about? The metronome tuk, 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 for the piano? So this is what I'm currently using. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if this is showing flipped on your side or not. Can you see it? Can you read it well? No, I think it's flipped, right? Why is this flipped? It shouldn't be flipped. Huh. Anyway, yeah, so this is the microphone, and this is the lavalier that I'm using right now. I'm very, very happy with them right now. So if you're, I don't know that I'm gonna do sponsor links or anything, but you can just Google them if you're interested. I'm very happy right now. Something else that I got was the webcam that I'm using right now. It's actually a very, very high-end webcam. It's a Logitech Brio, the one that right there, that one. But sometimes a little flickery. It's really high end and it's very high frame rate. So I'm actually quite happy about that one. I was not thinking, but then of course at some point Amazon or something recommended like, oh, there's like this webcams, especially for streaming. It's called Facecam, and I was looking at videos and it looked like the quality was pretty great. And so I decided to go for it. I still haven't installed it, so what you're seeing right now is the old webcam. But I may use next live stream to have them side by side and compare them and see what they are, how one compares to the other. But I'm actually quite excited because I've seen videos and it looks like the quality is really good and it looks like the lenses are bigger. They're specially designed for live streaming. So I'll give it a try. I still haven't even opened the box. This is how but then the one piece that I'm perhaps the most excited about is like, ta-da! I got the biggest and the fattest stream deck ever. So, so there's it's a stream deck. It's basically this thing that you put on top of your table, and then it has buttons. You can apparently program the buttons, so those icons you can upload like a PNG to the controller or whatever, and then the button gets whatever image you want, and then you press the button, and then you can program the buttons to do certain things. I also still haven't opened it yet, but I'm actually quite excited about this one. Again, all of this was also Nono's recommendation. Again, not sponsors link. I don't think I have a sponsored links, but you're welcome to check it out. Stream Deck XL, Elgato. I mean, why not? Okay. But I'm very excited about this one. I hope to get some time soon and be able, because like the way I'm doing it right now is that I'm changing between scenes with just keyboard shortcuts. So I'm going to here with a shortcut. I'm going here with a shortcut. right? And then I'm here with the shortcut, but you can still hear me. So I'm changing with some keyboard shortcuts, but this can get messy. And Nono tells me that there's so many more things you can do with the deck. So I really want to give it a try. And it's also something nice is if you can hack it to program it to do something cool. Maybe we could do a live stream around, if this has some kind of API that we can write code for, maybe we could use a stream for that. Anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of excited about opening my gifts. But yes, so I am enjoying yes, I am. Side-by-side comparison sounds cool. Sir, which keyboard are you using and which laptop? Oh, okay, Jay. So I'm not using a laptop, I'm using an actual desktop machine. When I first started streaming in 2020, I was using a laptop where is my laptop? It's in another room. I can't bring it. I have an HP Spectre 360. I have mixed feelings. Where is the HP Spectre? Where are you? So you see now I'm changing with a shortcut. So I have this laptop, literally. Not this one because mine is 13 inches. But this is my main laptop right now. I have another laptop, an older one that I use for traveling and stuff, but this is my main one. I bought it because I don't like beefy, thick gamer laptops anymore because I need to move my laptop around, take it to class, take it to school, and I need a lightweight laptop. So I always try to buy notebooks or ultrabooks because they are thin and lightweight and I can carry them, and I'm an old person now, so I need to take care of my back and that kind of stuff. But this one in particular was the one that I could find that had the better specs. So it actually has like 16 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of hard drive, which was crazy. There's very few laptops that give you so much hard drive. And I've noticed that with older laptops, I used to run into hard drive limitations. So I find having a big hard drive pretty important for me, and the laptop being lightweight. And then at some point by the end of 2020, I bought a desktop computer. So I don't have, maybe I can take a photo at some point, but I have basically a desktop computer with a nice, what is it, like a GeForce or an RTX 3090. I was able to get one back at the times as well. And I have like 3 screens right now. So I have my left screen, my main screen, and then I have a vertical screen right here when I'm looking at you and your chat right now. And I'm very, very happy. Like, I'm incredibly happy with my desktop computer because I can have like 17 different things open. I have all my screens open. It's a really, really nice workstation. And I'm also working on a table that I bought, and that is like it's a desk that goes up and down, so I can move it up. So I don't know if you notice, it's going up, and now it's going down. I have a few buttons that go up and down. Hey, honestly, I barely use it. I'm always sitting. But the idea was good in principle. Anyway, so yeah. And the keyboard. The keyboard, I use this thing. It's a combo. So it's both. I bought a combo. Is the what is it? It's the Logitech K. No, it's actually not a combo. Sorry, it's not. This one is not a combo. It's the Logitech K850. It's really nice because it's wireless. The battery lasts forever. I think I've changed it once since I bought it. But it's also very nice because it has this. The shape is pretty nice. I can rest my wrists here. It's great. But it also has these 3 buttons here that I can use to switch between computers. So, for example, typically it's on number 1, which is Bluetooth connection to my desktop. But if I press number 2, then it switches to Bluetooth connection to some other device. So sometimes I work with my laptop and then I use the keyboard to connect to my laptop. So that's actually great. And the mouse that I use is basically, it's the same thing as a Logitech M7020. I like Logitech a lot. So it's an M7020 and it's also nice because it's fairly lightweight as well. It has a nice scrolling mechanism. It has back and forth buttons here on the thumb, and it also has, I don't know if you can see it, 1, 2, 3. You can switch between different devices, and this one I actually use a lot, the keyboard a little less. But this mouse I actually use it a lot with my laptop. So switching between my computer and my laptop, it's really nice. So yeah, so maybe I will post some links to all this stuff on the description of this video. I don't know. Maybe I do that. Maybe Nono helps me with that. Anyway, so that's my new gear for this year, 2023. I'm excited to try this out at some point. Let's see where we go with that. Now, what else are we doing? Yes, so what are we, okay, so what are we doing this year? Oh my God, we have so much to do, folks. Okay, so first of all, so what are we doing this year? This year, I want to get back onto doing this every week. So today, we're going to make a very, very short video. I mostly wanted to reconnect with the community, with most of you folks, etc. Wait, sorry. Hello, Jose. Have you read that the ChatGPT plugin, have you used the ChatGPT plugin for Grasshopper? I didn't know there was a plugin for, okay, ChatGPT 3 Grasshopper. How asked for OpenAI for code inside Grasshopper with Python. Is this what you're talking about? Christian? ChatGPT 3 Grasshopper. ChatGPT in Grasshopper 3D. Carl, is this a test or is this oh, okay. So I didn't know there was such a plugin. But I mean, this is very similar to what we've done in the past. What is OpenAI? Yeah. But this is very similar. I will send you the link. Well, you can, I don't think you can send the link on the chat. So if you want to put it on Discord, I will see it on Discord. Paste it on the live channel. I didn't know there was a plugin. Show more. A little script to access OpenAI's ChatGPT out. Okay. So, okay. So I didn't know there was such a thing, but yeah, I mean, we actually made, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Christian, but we actually made a few videos. So where are you? Where are my videos? Here. We actually made a few videos on using OpenAI. So here, so how to get OpenAI, but we were focusing on DALL-E. But we have a video on how to use the DALL-E API and how to create images using how to create images using DALL-E in Grasshopper. We didn't turn this into a plugin really, but honestly, excuse me, this should be really easy to do actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, so we could create a Grasshopper, we could create an OpenAI plugin basically that we use to just make requests to the OpenAI API and just get images and get ChatGPT completions. There's actually a lot of things that we can do in. Oh, you know what? That may actually not be a terrible idea. So I'm gonna write it down here as an idea. An OpenAI plugin. Maybe we can do that. It wouldn't take that much, actually. Carl Singline makes some great videos. You're interested in getting into Grasshopper and robotics. Yeah, I know. Where is like Carl? I've seen his robotics videos. He's actually pretty good. Where is he from? Does anyone know? What does he do? Where does he work? Base calibration. I I think I've seen his work, especially his robotic work. I've seen it before. Does anyone know about him? Carl, are you here? Can you say hi? Introduce yourself. I'm curious about your work. PhD candidate living in Austria. Okay, I don't know, but ChatGPT and Grasshopper. Okay, create robotics. Uh, isn't he? Yeah, because I saw him at Miami recently with Madeleine. Huh, okay. Luciano has already done that plugin for OpenAI. Teaching in Australia, I think. So in Austria. Who is Luciano? He works in Austria with Johannes Brom. Ah, okay. He's the oh yeah, yeah. Here's Johannes himself. Yep, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see, I see. All right. Very small world. We all know each other, right? And who is Luciano? Can someone send me a link to this plugin? It's actually it's not a plugin, it's just a code. Luciano Ambrosini. Luciano Ambrosini. YouTube. PhD architect operating in design and construction without forgetting climate and natural environment, stability AI inside the grasshopper. Yeah, I guess we're all doing this, right? Okay. And then can you do high quality here, please? Okay, desktop stability API direction path. Okay, and where is this coming from? I don't know. Luciano Ambrosini.it architect. Okay, this is cool. Luciano, if you're listening or if you're this looks very interesting work, can you please say hi and share some of your work with us? That would be great. Okay, beautiful. They work with Kuka PRC. He was watching earlier. Yes. Oh, Luciano, you're here. Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, I think I saw you before. Is that correct? No, I didn't. Oh, yes, you saw. Luciano, looks really, really cool. Congratulations. Very nice work. I don't, I would like to take some time to actually look more closely to the videos, but it looks very impressive. Congratulations. I like it. Maybe we should do like a B2B like you write a component, then I write another one, and we build this thing together, collaborate. That would be really cool. And I'm curious about how you are connecting to Stability AI. Are you running an instance of Stability in your machine, and that's how you make the request and the predictions? Or or how is this working? I'm interested. Let us know a little bit, or if you wanna, like nerd out or jump on a call, join the stream, this could be really interesting. I like it. Thumbs up, Luciano. Where are you based? Are you in Italy, in Austria? Just, yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Join the Discord server and introduce yourself. We like people, like-minded people in the community. All right. Okay. What else? What else? In Italy, from Naples. Oh, one of my best friends is from Naples. I haven't visited yet. Um, all right. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yes. So, what are we doing? Let me see if I missed anything from the chat. All right. So, yeah. Yeah, Luciano was here. That was nice that you were actually here. Bei progretti, Luciano. Complimenti. All right, cool. So, wow, it's really snowing right now here in Boston. It's kind of beautiful. Anyway, so where was I? Where was I? I have, okay, so. Yes. So, all right. So, what are we doing this year? This year, I want to get back into streaming. So, I wanted to use today as, when you haven't run a lot and the first time you go running, it's like, So, I wanted to do that today. I wanted to take like a chill, low key, not very intense. Just and actually I'm enjoying a lot that I'm hanging out with people and there's like an interesting conversation going on and I'm meeting new folks like Luciano and I get to learn about their work. This is actually quite interesting. I love it. Thank you. So I wanted to do a little bit of that and I also wanted to reconnect with where we were in terms of content to plan what we want to do for 2023. Okay, so first of all, we have quite a lot of people in the chat right now, so I'm going to throw this question because there's a lag between the video and when you hear me and when you actually type. There's like somewhere between 15 seconds and 20 seconds, so we cannot do really live stream, But so for those of you who are in this chat right now, what kind of tutorials and what kind of work or examples, what kind of videos would you like to see in 2023? So think about that and please post your ideas right now in the chat. Because what happens is that, I don't know if you remember, but I've been doing this for actually a full year right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, you say the first one was a year ago. I'm really sad about this, but again, it is what it is. I haven't had time to get back into this, but basically I was working on this playlist. You know that I like doing playlists, and playlists for me are a way of creating multiple videos that go in order, and I think of them as a small curriculum, as a course, if you will. So if you're interested in the topic and you watch all the videos one after one, I think that they build up nicely and incrementally, and they become a really good learning resource that I also sometimes use for my own classes as support material. So I had been working for quite some time on this list called Advanced Development in Grasshopper, and this one was for people who already knew how to code and were familiar with C# development. And what I was focusing on was on how to do C# scripting inside of Grasshopper. So I was talking about writing on common, how do you create geometry in a C# component, how do you exchange data between components, etc., etc. So we did a lot of that. And then the second part, of the big part of that playlist, was plugin development. So instead of writing code in a C# script component, how to do that, but compile it into something that looks like a plugin. So something that you can just compile into an object, into a DLL, into a GHA file, and you can share with other people and publish it, and then it becomes useful for other people. Okay? So I was almost done, and actually I was looking through my notes before, and it turns out that we only have like 4 or 5 videos left to do here from what I wanted to do. So the last thing that I did was how to update and deprecate code properly, right? So from my list of notes, the only videos that we have left to do here are how to load external libraries in a plugin, which is going to be super easy because we already did, what is it? External assembly here. We already did how to load external libraries in a C# script component. So in a plugin, it's actually easier if that's even possible. Then I wanted to do one video about sharing data between different components. There's a really nice trick that you can use with static data in a plugin to share information between different instances of a component. So I wanted to do something like that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about testing and debugging. So the idea that while we're writing a plugin, we can use special visual code techniques to check the state of the code and fix things if they're not working well. So I wanted to do that. Then I wanted to spend one live stream going through all the examples that we had done and just turning them into a plugin, so that, because I want people to have a plugin with all the examples from the playlist so that they can see it, and I want to make that open source. I see some of you are already posting ideas, so please keep going if you have more ideas about what you would like to see this year on in terms of tutorials. And then I wanted to make a couple of videos on how to publish a plugin. So what do you do? Now you have the plugin. So what do you do? Like, how do you share it with the world, etc. So maybe we can talk about Food for Rhino there. We can talk about Yak. I think it's a new way of sharing components. I've never used it myself, so we will have to spend some time figuring out how Yak works and figuring out how to publish a how to publish a component, a plugin through the Jack dependency manager. So we will need to spend some time there. And then, I don't know if you remember, but there was this video that we recorded a year ago already. Let me find out. Let me find out. Where is that? Actually, no, it's not public. No, it is public? No, it's not public. There was a live stream. There was a live stream. This one. 10 months ago. I can't believe that. So for the 100th anniversary of the live streams, I invited people that I admire and whose work I really like from the community: Andrew Human, Raja Issa, Andy Payne, and Mike Pryor. They're all very skilled and very seasoned plugin developers. Andrew Human has made Human AI, JSwan, Meta Hopper, like all these crazy, amazing plugins. Raja's done all the paneling tools. Andy Payne is the author of Firefly. Mike Pryor has done Pufferfish. So I feel actually ridiculous by being here with them, but it was a very interesting video on plugin development, and they share a lot of their ideas on how to. So I want to take this video and make it the last video of this interview, and make it the last video of the series. So that will go eventually somewhere here at the very end, okay? And that's gonna be it. So that's going to be the end of the list. So it's literally like 4 or 5 videos that we need to do. So I want to get that done as soon as possible so that I can move on to other topics. And those other topics, I still haven't decided. So, for example, let's see what those could be. I hear from Andres Roncal that he loved the C# and Python series. Python series? I don't know what you're talking about, Andres. Who's doing any Python series in this channel, huh? I think Andres might be new. He doesn't really know what's going on with Python in this community. You had back in the day focus on plugin development. Okay, so thank you for that. Something like using API OF AI in Grasshopper. Using API of AI in Grasshopper. So that could mean maybe we can actually write a plugin. Maybe we can actually write a plugin, an OpenAI plugin. So that, and we just make components like this one is for ChatGPT, this one is for DALL-E, this one is for whatever. And so Revit and Rhino API, unfortunately, Andres, I'm a terrible Revit user. Like I've literally used Revit like 4 times in my life. And I've pretty much forgotten everything around it. And so I'm not sure if I could be really helpful there. I actually do have quite some experience with Dynamo. I used to work at Autodesk, and I used to work at the generative design team, and I did some work with my colleagues back at the time, who were the ones who developed Dynamo, and I've written some plugins for Dynamo as well. So I don't know if we could pick that up. But Dynamo and Revit together, I am not very well versed on that, unfortunately. So that would take me a little bit of time to do research on. Arasto, Unity can be a nice thing to take a look at. Also Rhino Insight and how you can use it in Unity. That could be interesting. I like Unity, to be honest as well. I've used Unity quite some, but I feel that I'm not fully there yet with Unity. There's something about Unity that I think I just need more time, or like do more. I think I need to make like a real full-fledged project at some point with Unity, something real big, in order to fully connect with it. But it is true that now that we know C Sharp and that we're more familiar with C Sharp development and with geometry generation in general, taking a look at how that works in Unity could be interesting. And Houdini, I know. So Houdini and Touch Designer are the two softwares right now that are at the top of my wish list. Whenever I get time to play around with them, I will, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm there yet with any of them too. So I will need to actually sit down and do some tutorials and make a project myself before I can understand it well enough to be able to communicate it to other people. Could you cover parallel computation in C Sharp? Oh, have you ever done a parallel for loop? That is a lot of fun. Maybe we could do a small example on that. So I'm gonna write it here. So I'm gonna have ideas for 2023. So an OpenAI plugin. An OpenAI plugin for Grasshopper. That could be fun. And a small project. And then maybe an example of parallel computation in C Sharp. We could do something quick there as well, probably. I have an example that can be used for parallel computation too if you want. Also customizing the UI for Grasshopper component would be, I guess we could do that in this playlist. Customizing UI of Grasshopper. Maybe we could do this in this playlist here. Okay. Can we start something like coding challenge that Daniel Schiffman doing in his channel? Oh, we used to have, Jay, you're so right. We used to have, where were they? I used to do them a while ago. Oh, that's a lot. So we used to have, where are they? Yeah, we do have some coding challenges actually. No? Yes, algorithmic modeling challenges. And geometry jams. Yeah, I guess we used to have some of those, but it's been a while since we haven't done any, so that could be nice to do one here and there. Go back to some algorithmic modeling challenges. We could model like some building or something, right? Want to do another poll for the new topic like last time? Oh, we could do that on Discord. Do a poll. But then for a poll, we would need to have candidates. Do a poll on Discord. All right, how about this? Arasto, would you be interested, please, in starting that poll? So if you can dig down the poll that we did last year, if you can bring in the same items and then add the things that we're talking about right now. So I have on my notes, I have a plugin for an OpenAI plugin for Grasshopper, example of parallel computation in C Sharp, customizing UI for Grasshopper components. We can probably do that one here in the playlist that we're doing in development. Algorithmic modeling challenges, Unity and C Sharp. I don't work in it, I have to help with that. Definitely, I make a new one. Yes, please. Arasto, can you please start? And I did like, I don't know who did that. I believe it was you last year, wasn't it? Like somebody, like there were icons, emojis representing each one, and people could like turn on emojis, and that was the voting mechanism. I did like that a lot, actually. I really like emojis for some reason. So, so if you can please do that, I would appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Okay, and okay, and so, oops, nope. So I guess the next video that we would do here would be libraries with, yeah, but I do need to go at 11. I actually don't think that I can start the video right now. Yeah, so how are we going to do that? Because I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to start the video for next time. So yeah, I kind of don't want to do that. I don't think I want to do that right now. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was gonna start with the next video on the playlist here, but it's already 10:30 my time, and I need to go in 30 minutes. I'm not gonna have time to start and finish before I leave. So I guess we're gonna have to do that. So I guess this live stream was just checking in back with the people. And I actually did enjoy having a really active chat and people, etc., etc. It's been a while. I miss you, folks. I don't know why I did. I mean, I know why, but I've been meaning to get back on this, and I'm really happy I did. I'm really happy that there was such a wonderful amount of people having joined me in this today. Hi, Jose. Have okay. Which is the better component? Which is better, component or C# and Grasshopper? ICB, of course. What do you think I'm going to do? I think that Grasshopper is great. And Grasshopper, because of how the interface and the visual programming model is set up, has been fundamental, has been groundbreaking, and has been a terrible and fantastic game changer to make it easier and more accessible to people to start doing computational thinking and computational work. So I do like vanilla Grasshopper a lot, and I think it's a great introductory tool for computational design. But I also think that as soon as you want to get into more advanced topics, and for me, those advanced topics are geometry that is kind of, so 3D environments that are kind of interactive and reactive, so things that you can touch and press buttons and interact with, things that are closer to the video game world of things, things that are more interactive computer graphics, like for example, VJing and shaders and all that stuff. When you want to get into those things, Grasshopper is limited because Grasshopper doesn't have a an update cycle. Okay, so in that sense, as soon as you have a good control of standard vanilla Grasshopper, I find it very good to jump and to move on into learning how to write computer code actually. And if you're new to the channel, I don't know if we've met before, but if you're new to the channel, what I would suggest is that a good way to do that transition is to start, perhaps if you've never done any of this, a good way to do it is to start with the Introduction to Parametric Modeling list. So this one will give you a really, really good baseline for understanding how to do plain vanilla Grasshopper and how to do parametric modeling. If you're good there, then the next step should be, well, now if you want to learn how to code, this is a really good playlist to learn C# programming from scratch, no assumptions, everything from the very, very beginning, everything you need. And once you got this under control and you've done the exercises, if you now want to learn how to combine the two worlds, then the next step should be Advanced Development in Grasshopper, which is a playlist where we go over topics such as, for example, how do you write C# inside of Grasshopper? How do you create your own scripts? How do you create your own components, etc., etc. But on top of that, learning C# is very useful because it's the programming language for many other CAD environments that I think are very popular and interesting. So for example, you can write C# in Dynamo BIM. So you can write C# in Unity, which has been discussed in the chat today, which is a great platform for video game development, but it's also being used these days a lot for the development of interactive applications, even software. You can create software because it's very 3D based. So I've seen people create 3D printing tools using Unity. It's like the Swiss Army of 3D based interactive graphics and interactive applications. It's really, really good. So that would be my recommendation to you, ICB. Oh, we miss you too, Nico. Also, something more advanced things in vanilla grasshopper. More advanced, what would that look like? Minesh, what do you mean more advanced things in vanilla grasshopper? What kind of more advanced things would you like to see with vanilla grasshopper? Mr. Aaron, for 3D printing focus content, which channel do you suggest to me? Interesting. I don't know, or off the top of my head, I don't have a good recommendation. But you know what? Maybe we could do something a bit more 3D printing oriented. Maybe we could have a full playlist where we go from 0 to 3D print using vanilla or using C#, and we go through slicing, we go through infills, we go through toolpaths, we go through G-code generation. That could be something interesting. Oh, yeah. You're right, Nico. Big time. Yes, I do want, I think that's actually, thank you for bringing that up again, because I think that's actually very high on my priority list. And I think that should be an easy and fast playlist to do. We could probably get that done in a month or two. And I think it's really useful, and I really need that for my classes. So, because Git is very useful if you write any code that you want to share with anyone in the world, or if you work with any team whatsoever, you need to know the basics of Git. But it's something that is so utilitarian and so not creative that I don't want to use time in my classes, in my in-person classes at the university, to explain to students. But I also don't know of a good resource for a Git playlist, if you will. So I really want to do that. And I really want to share that with this community so that we can all get Gitified. So I think you're right. That might be the next playlist that we're going to tackle, Git. And the basics of how do you create a repository? How do you clone the repository? How do you commit to that repository? How do you do things such as branches and pull requests, and how do you work with a team? Like, those things are actually quite useful. Yes, that looks like it's going to be probably the next playlist. Yeah. All right. Any other more suggestions? Can I say this again? I'm really liking this microphone. It's just so small, and it's wireless, and it's USB, and you can recharge it. You don't have to buy. I used so many batteries. The carbon footprint of Parametric Camp in terms of batteries for my microphone has been so bad. I'm really happy we improved on that front. Thank you very much, Nono, for the suggestion. I'm really happy already. I need to buy another, because I have two of these. I need to buy another lavalier for this. Anyway, okay, well, I guess with that, if there are no more comments, I don't feel like starting the library video, and I do have some emails to deal with before leaving, so maybe I'm just going to do that. Maybe we're just going to use this live stream today as reconnecting again and getting back, like warming up to live streaming again. So let's just do that. Let's just keep it simple, okay? We want to keep things simple. I like keeping things simple. So if there's no more comments, suggestions, I am very happy to have shared the morning with you. I'm very happy to reconnect. Oh, thank you for your words, Berling. Oh, Arasto, are you still there? Can we add Stable Diffusion and the D-Forum, what is it called? The D-Forum, what is it called? The D-Forum collab. Can we add it to the list? I did some work with that recently, and I found it really cool, and I created all these crazy AI images by tweaking it, and I found it very interesting. So we may want to do a little bit of that in the channel as well. That could be cool. I don't want to overstep Nono's AI-oriented work, but I think we could do something like that. Okay, so if you can add that to the list, Arasto, I would be really happy to hear people's opinions, okay? All right. Well, then with that, I'm gonna call it a day. I will hopefully see you next week. We're going to be doing Fridays from here on. Friday is a good day. And I think as opposed to last year, I want to start a little earlier so that I have the full morning. Yeah, so they can send the bonfire channel. Yes. We actually have remember, we have a channel called Topic Suggestions. So maybe people can just post there directly. So yeah. So I'm just gonna then take off. It was a pleasure to hang out with you. I'm going to try to get back to do this every Friday. We're going to start a little earlier this year. I'm thinking of starting either at 9:30 my time or at 9 a.m. my time, so that I have the full morning to do like a long live stream and then get videos done, etc., etc. Because otherwise, it just gets too short. So expect a time change for this year, okay? And thank you very much for being here. Very happy to reconnect. Very happy to warm up again to this. And I'll see you on the next live stream, hopefully next week. Bye bye. Thank you very much. See you.